9 minutes to 8, and of course you can hear if Richard Williams is £10,000 richer later on the breakfast show. It is Unlucky or Lucky Friday the 13th. He's got a scratch card. He's going to scratch it live on air. He was given it by a lucky Coventry hotelier who said he feels his luck's in today. So you'll be hearing the results later on in the show. Now it's 9 minutes to 8, time for our newspaper review with Calum Brannan, a digital entrepreneur. Hello, Calum.
Good morning. How you doing?
Very posh title. What's a digital entrepreneur when they're at home?
I don't know. I just started a business and then it's this fancy title that got bestowed on me. But just a normal lad from Coventry that started a business.
You look like a digital entrepreneur. You've got your big hoodie on, your grey hoodie. Yeah, clean shaven, nice jeans. You look very in, in with the kids.
These are my comfy clothes.
Oh, are they?
Because the weather's started to turn, hasn't it?
I know it has. But it's going to be nice today, by the way. 20 degrees Celsius, the highs at 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Right. We're going to go through the papers that you have found, but let me just quickly whiz through the front pages if you're just joining us. Harvey Weinstein continues to make a lot of the front pages, with British actress Kate Beckinsale claiming that he tried to get it on with her while she was still at school, while she was 17 years old. And all sorts of fallout with the Conservatives at the moment over Brexit. Sack saboteur. Hammond says former Chancellor Lord Lawson, he thinks Philip Hammond should be sacked because he's not supporting Brexit. So those are some of the front pages. Calum, what have you found?
So I kind of went on the doomsday theme, the Friday the 13th, and the fact that we've all been reminded that antibiotics could become kind of not possible for a lot of regular illnesses, which I think would be terrible. I thought it was very apt for today.
They've just become too strong. They're too resistant. They're not working. That's what one chief medical officer is saying this morning. Have you ever been on antibiotics?
I have, yeah. And I think people, because it's so difficult to get an appointment at the GP nowadays, I think people really don't want to have to go back. And I think that, especially with children and if you've got to get back to work.
Yeah, so our bodies are actually doing it for us. But it is worrying because it will risk, some serious, operations like, cesareans or hip replacements or transplants. So it is worrying. Yeah, okay. I mean, and to be honest, do you get ill very often? Because how old are you, Calum?
I'm 28.
Oh, you're a youngster. I've got shoes in my wardrobe older than you. But do you get ill? Do you get ill often?
I'm addicted to Barocca every morning. So I think one a day of those has helped me kind of keep my energy levels up, but I don't know, I think every now and again you kind of think you're immune to everything and then you get hit down and it's the worst thing that's ever happened.
But to be honest, a lot of my kids are always ill, flu or this or that, and I think when we were young we were just thrown back outside. Get on with it. If you've got a cold, get on with it. So you're okay, you're a healthy guy.
I think so.
Okay, what else have you got for us?
So being the geek that I am, I was absolutely amazed by Branson's investment in Virgin Hyperloop. So
tell us more.
Yeah, so apparently this is a train that's going to get you from London to Scotland in 45 minutes, shooting people down a tube at nearly 700 miles an hour.
Hold on a minute. What do you mean shooting people? What, they literally do some sort of like water tube?
So apparently it's freight, passengers and freight in pods in low pressure tubes. It all sounds a bit futuristic, but this method of transportation isn't too far away. They reckon it could be up and running as early as 2021.
Don't even joke. There is no way I'm going to be hauling my cellulite in a thin tube down to London. I mean, where is this going to be built?
Yeah, I don't know. And it's bad enough waiting for a train. I mean, I'm getting the train between London and Coventry quite a lot at the moment, and and it's quite quick, an hour, but the thought of getting to Scotland in under an hour, it's
in a tube.
Yeah, exactly. Quite petrifying.
Do you do a lot of travelling in your job?
Yeah, because we've just opened the new operations centre here in Coventry. I'm literally spending all of my time, I think, on trains at the moment between London and Coventry. But it's actually a nice time because your phone signal goes. It's actually a nice time to have some relaxation.
So what? I mean, I'm still mixed up with digital. It sounds really futuristic. What exactly do you do?
What do I do? So
what do you do? What's the nuts and bolts?
We've tried to basically get rid of traditional letting agents, and as terrible as that sounds, if you speak to tenants and landlords, people have had a bad time with letting agents. The fees are really expensive, and tenants are paying an absolute fortune before they can even move into a property. So we've created a business called No Agent, where we don't charge any fees to tenants, and landlords can have their property properly managed for just £35 a month. So yeah,
so you're cutting out the middleman.
We really are, yeah. And it's a digital platform, so you can look at a property online, secure it online.
But don't you need like an army of work people to do that?
We do, and actually, what we found ladies returning back to work that want to get back into work and go and do the viewings. It struck a real great chord for that group of people. Also, property professionals who want to do a couple of extra hours on a Saturday. So we have a whole network of 500 people that cover the whole of England.
My goodness, look at you with your little grey hoodie on.
I know, right? I normally wear a suit jacket, but I thought it's Friday, it's cold outside.
Lovely. I love it. I love the relaxed Calum. So hold on a minute, you're going to be minting in a couple of years, aren't you?
Well, I think it's about reinvesting at the moment.
Oh, stop talking. You're going to be rich. You're going to be loaded. I need to keep that name, Calum. Yeah, Calum Brannan. I have to keep, my new best mate. What else have you got for us?
So also on the business theme, actually, in the Times was the issue that the government are still struggling to capture £1.5 billion in tax from Amazon. And as a small business owner myself, having a taxman turn up at our office to do a random inspection within the first 12 months of trading, it almost annoys me that Amazon are still getting away with this kind of behaviour.
Gosh, I mean, what was that like when the taxman turns up and says, just need to do a little...
I actually thought someone was pranking us on the doorbell downstairs, and one of our friends was pretending it was the inspector. But it all went well, which is the main thing. And I think because we're a new business, they want to see what you're up to as much as anything else. Okay. But it does make you think, what really is going on to allow a company the size of Amazon to...
And it's not just Amazon, is it? Oh, by the way, you're listening to the voice of Calum Brannan, digital entrepreneur, soon to be super rich, from Coventry, who's doing our newspaper review. But it's not just Amazon. There's Starbucks, there's Google, there's Facebook. They've all sort of tried to get away with not paying the taxes, haven't they?
It's incredible. And I read another story that I haven't found in the papers actually today about a person ran the London Marathon last year, and there were only one of 20,000 people that was running for the antibiotic research campaign. And actually, if a lot of these big companies actually paid their tax, we're going to have to pay our tax. Of course we are, and we want to, because it funds our venture and the people around us and the ecosystem. But, why should these big companies get away with it so much?
I love the next story that you've picked. I mean, because I mentioned this fishy story, which turns out to be true.
I thought it was a children's rhyme when I read it.
It's incredible, isn't it? Tell us more about this Dover soul.
Yeah, so this was a chap. It sounds like a prank gone wrong, which is horrific, really. But he managed to I think swallow a Dover soul, which does sound like a nursery rhyme, and it was nearly quite fatal actually. Yeah. So I'm glad it wasn't the way he went, or he would have been on the Darwin list, I think, for unfortunate death. Exactly,
14 centimetres. He's there kissing this Dover soul as a selfie, as a sort of well done, me first catch. And it slips from his fingers and goes straight down his throat.
Not so funny for the friends that are having to perform CPR on him, and I bet the ambulance control centre were quite shocked as well.
So lucky, absolutely lucky. And very quickly, what do you think about this story, Calum? This Italian woman that's won a legal battle for sick pay for time she took off to look for her sick dog. It is true. It's a world first, apparently. She's been given, legal battle. She can get sick pay to look after a 12-year-old Sissiola.
And he looks lovely as well. I think that was well deserved. But I mean, people love their dogs like they love their children, and I think she would probably be prepared to quit that job if she wasn't given the time off anyway. Yeah.
Well, listen, Calum, it's time off on the newspaper review. You've been brilliant.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, digital entrepreneur. I know what one is now. Thank you for doing it. Have a great Friday.
Thank you.
Plenty more coming up on Breakfast with Trish. And as Calum said there, we are going to be talking about antibiotics, our top story on Breakfast, as they won't be working in the future. That's what one chief medical officer has warned this morning. Good morning to you. Good to have you with me.
The place you live.
The stories you share.
BBC Coventry and Warwickshire.